All right, doctors, we need to talk about something you're feeling every single day, even if you don't know the technical term for it. And I keep getting asked this in various different ways. Dr. Johnny, what happens to real estate if the dollar collapses? Here's the truth. Most dentists don't really know what a weak dollar looks like or even what that means. But you feel the effects in your practice every single day, I guarantee it. Here's what a weakening dollar actually looks like in the real world. Your assistants and hygienists want higher wages. Supplies cost more than they did just 6 months ago, and even more than they did 6 months before that. Lab bills go up. Rent continues to go up. Taxes continue to go up. Cost of compliance continues to go up. So what stays the same? Well, your PPO reimbursements stay the same. And for some of you, it's even declining. And if you've ever felt like you're working harder than ever, but keeping less, guess what? It's true. The average dentist's income actually decreased by 12% over the last 4 years. That's not bad luck. That's not mismanagement. I mean, there might be a little bit of both of those. But the main thing is, the dollar is losing purchasing power. This is the quiet version of a currency decline. It shows up inside your profit and loss statement, not on the news. So let's answer this question. What happens to real estate when the dollar weakens or collapses? Here's the simplest way to understand it. Real estate doesn't crash when a currency weakens. In fact, the currency crashes into real estate. You see, real estate is a building. It's physically there. It doesn't disappear. Land doesn't disappear. Demand to live or work in this real estate also does not disappear. But what does disappear? The purchasing power of the paper fiat currency used to measure those things, right? So the value of the dollar is actually what's going down. Now, we've seen this movie play out before. Weimar Germany, which is a coming of Nazi Germany. We saw hyperinflation. The dollar, I believe it was called a mark at the time, was worthless. People holding on to cash in Weimar Germany were destroyed. But people that held land, businesses, factories, essential businesses, they survived. They not only survived, some of them even thrived. We can take another example of Zimbabwe. The local currency collapsed about a couple decades ago. And real estate started being priced in dollars instead of Zimbabwe currency, right? So real estate didn't crash when the local currency collapsed. Let's take a look at another country. Argentina had 200% inflation. There's a new president there named Javier Milei who is attacking and trying to bring down inflation. But Argentina was racked with inflation. And what happened when there was 200% inflation? Cost of everything went up. But property listings were quoted in US dollars because nobody trusted the peso. The value of that real estate in Argentina was still valuable, right? It's just that the currency used to pay for it was worthless. So the peso, because of 200% inflation, became worthless, and people just started selling property in US dollars instead of Argentinian pesos. The pattern is always the same. Paper burns, land remains. Well, if your entire financial plan is, hey, save cash, max out retirement accounts in Wall Street, put our head in the sand like an ostrich and hope inflation cools down. Well, I'll tell you right now, you're on the wrong side of the equation. When currency weakens, cash melts, savings erode, fixed rate debt becomes easier to pay back, right? Because the value of the debt is also inflated away. And real assets, especially cash flowing real estate, and things like oil and gas, well, they reprice upwards. This is why wealthy families don't sit on cash, especially during inflation. They sit in real assets. Now, dentistry is one of the only professions where you can make $300,000, $400,000, $600,000 and still feel behind. It's not because you're bad with money. I mean, you might be. But it's because you're playing a high-income game with a melting currency. Financial freedom doesn't come from saving more. It comes from owning assets the currency is measured against. And this is exactly why I created the Walk of Wealth Mastermind community. It's a paid community that helps dentists, doctors escape the hamster wheel of rising costs, shrinking margins, and melting dollars, and instead build real financial independence through cash flowing real estate, oil and gas, effective tax strategy, infinite banking policies, and alternative assets that actually protect purchasing power. So the next time someone asks, what happens to real estate when the dollar dies? Just remember, real estate never dies. Paper dies. Land remains. Now, your job as a doctor, small business owner, and as an investor is to get on the side of real assets, not melting money. And if you want to learn how we help doctors and entrepreneurs build passive income, protect wealth from inflation, and buy back their time, I put a link in the description to a short video that explains exactly how our Walk of Wealth Mastermind group works. Watch the video, and if you think that you're a good fit, I invite you and encourage you to apply and see exactly how we help dentists create financial freedom outside of the operatory.